I get to pop my ult much sooner. So we'll see how this works out. And again, it's so weird because the sample size is so small. We don't see Joy very often. And that already feels like TNC won the lottery. They got two of the biggest picks that are usually bans.
Yeah, that's why I think it's gonna, you know, if anything, it's gonna pay dividends for the game here. What are we seeing?
Okay, you know what? We got blindsided. It's the Joy in the jungle.
Right. Joy in the jungle.
JJ.
JJ, okay.
And look what we're
We were so surprised by the way when the Helker and the Hovia is picking up that we didn't realize. Yeah, that we saw the Thamus pick up, right?
Look at Ben things, man.
But to be fair, we haven't actually seen Thamus in the jungle.
Game, Ben!
Okay. No. All right, they get the flicker out.
All right, so
but that's the thing, though. You could actually see Thamus in the jungle too. That's not too far out of the realm of possibility.
Yes, that was a thing about a year and a half ago. Now, something else entirely. The reason why I exclaimed there is because the new Iron Hawk skin on Cupra makes him look like he has the orange buff. Look at him. His sleeves are orange. There, see? His sleeves are orange.
Right.
Oh, true. Well,
orange sleeves too.
He's doing exactly what he has to do. Again, Super Marco focus here. First blood going to the hands of King Kong. So, you know, now that we've gotten the picture, right, of King Kong on this Joy jungle, how's this going to pan out here, Sona?
I mean, when you think about it, or when you take a look at it, Bren Esports already allotted these assistants onto the top side, but unfortunately for them, TNC just had a lot of ways for them to initiate. First is that mobility that we've been continuously mentioning from a while ago. Second is the damage that could be displayed with King Kong having that mystery shop as your emblem. He's gonna have, you know, a faster amount of time into getting the items and landing those itemizations done. And now that the turtle is actually spawned here, Hesu is gonna be trying to give space for the rest of the members and hopefully repeat what he did from a while ago.
All right, that's 3 men from Bren present here at the turtle pit. Hesu going for the pull. King Kong is purple. Oh, is Kyle Petey gonna make it in time?
Yeah, he should be fine. King Kong knows, so you know what, let me just have Bren do the work. While we get in position. Also, you know, Ben Things isn't even up here, so they might be looking for a trade if they can find one.
Ultimates.
But also both roamers top side, so it ultimately comes down to this 3 versus 3. Both teams working on it. There's the Dark Knight Falls. They do grab it. Kyle Teasy securing the first turtle of the game here.
Things are now going to be starting to look different for Bren Esports because those were the things that, or those were the objectives that they were unable to get in the prior match. But now, having that one onto their side, they've also locked in more pressure coming in from Hesu, who uses that vengeance to get away.
Oh, you also saw how he stayed maybe a second or 2 more than he should have, because he was using the most of the vengeance, and he knew that underneath the XP lane turret shield, he would have been fine. Now, top lane, gold lane has been relatively mugged. Oh, wait.
Yeah. There's still, I mean, at this point, you gotta just kind of, what we're seeing is both roamers just kind of babysitting this lane, right? They want to put basically their stocks in these gold laners to transition really well throughout the game. And hopefully, again, you have to have this answer against the 1-1. Now, yeah, previous game, you know, Innocent wasn't the sole reason why they won that game, but you don't want him to get to that point, right? He was pretty a threat, especially late game. So now that's why we see so much focus here on allowing Super Marco to have as much of a good time as he can on this Melissa.
This is a very secured Melissa, if you ask me, given that she is actually the first one to secure the Corrosion Scythe compared to that 1-1 who is still building up, or actually getting that one just now. So even if Bren Esports actually lost that first blood kill to TNC, which is why there's not a lot of gaps in terms of the gold, but Bren Esports, with that turtle take, they are now on the lead. Unfortunately for them, there is just the flicker skill that has been wasted. It was used out of good intentions, but it didn't really come to fruition.
What was that? About 2 or 3 feet short?
Yeah.
And for 2 minutes, it's down.
Super Marco just kind of had a feeling, right? He's like, this doesn't feel right. And he was right. So they have that now, and which means, again, that this leads into this next turtle, right? This next objective. Ben Things most likely isn't going to be around, so TNC might have to just give this turtle up. Everyone getting in position, Few just going to zone them out the best he can, and there you go, like that. Kyle TZ securing the second turtle of the game here. Top side, though, the focus is where it's at. Ogwin in trouble. King Kong able to grab the kill. Now sitting on 2 kills on this Joy in the jungle.
All right, 5 minutes in. Bren Esports currently has 100% of the turtles so far. Not much in terms of other map objectives, save for maybe the gold lane. If anything, TNC has been pressuring Super Marco so much that maybe this top lane gold lane, the tier 1 turret, might be the first to go.
Right, they're maximizing the fact that Super Marco is being pressured. So what they do is to try to make more plays on the other parts of the map, which is actually where the Dark Knight Falls actually comes into play. Because once you lose the vision for the rest of the members, TNC would have some sort of doubts in terms of actually whether to initiate or not. But even so, Bren Esports still manages to get the turtle and have a stable lead. Maybe little or maybe a lot, it's still a lead that they could potentially work on. Meanwhile, for the other side, TNC has that mobility on their side to go ahead and rotate, where King Kong is actually managing to take the lead right now with 2-0-0 as his KDA. Also, level 9 compared to level 9. So there is just a lot of things for the junglers to maximize on. First is mobility, second is the vision, and then from there you land the damage.
Yeah, they're not freaking out. Like, nobody is at a deficit, not a clear deficit. Speaking of which, I haven't really felt that this is a mid Phovius. Like, Few's playing it pretty well.
Yeah.
Like, he's where he needs to be, and he's making the most of that threat of activation.
It's funny to just see it in lane again, in the mid lane specifically, you know. And even the fact that he doesn't have, you know, the flame shot, because that's usually how we see it built, right? But still, given that situation, you gotta wonder, how is this gonna work out for them as the game gets further on? Because right now, King Kong unleashing again, looking to do his best to zone them out, but and now that this ultimate's down, right, I just think TNC is going to be like, let's just give up these turtles, but hopefully they have an answer for that when it comes down to those lords after this. So, again, King Kong getting the vision he needs, but he doesn't have much to work with here. So, just as expected, Bren going to secure the 3rd turtle of the game here.
Oh, wow. I ate my words. It's actually the XP lane that goes up first. Wait!
Okay, there's Few jumping in, has a demonic force, and nothing going to convert out of that just yet.
All right. Hans, you were saying?
We're starting to see some advantages that both of the teams are trying to employ here. Bren Esports gets the objectives, but meanwhile, TNC is simply just leaving Hesu to do his own thing, right? As soon as they get an advantage in terms of the objectives, that is where they will start to begin the strike. 4 heroes are onto the top side, especially with the items that we have right now. Ben Things ultimately securing that dominant size because he's going to be facing off against the Melissa for the later portions of the game. They want to bring the top lane turret down just to force Super Marco to make another move. But the thing is, Bren Esports is not letting this top lane go.
Yeah.
As they shouldn't.
Yeah.
I think this is almost as important as mid lane. The way that they hold it and they make sure that Marco has a place to at least farm up. So this is good. I think Bren Esports answering back the right way. Ooh, conceal.
Hey, Ben Thing's gonna land that one. Does find Pandora, but they don't have enough follow-up damage. Oakland gonna miss the Numen Blast. Not gonna commit to anything, but still, I still set on the top side. A lot of attention still here. They know some of these resources are down. Innocent, gotta be careful. There's the final slash, putting him in place if he can. There, under the turret he goes. Innocent's gonna fall. King Kong now joining the fight, looking to get Ogwin down here, but doesn't have the backup he needs. Double kill for Super Marco. Ben Things also running with Escalera.
Man, that's why they picked up the Phovius, regardless of if it had a place to be in the way they're not back.
Oh, the set is there. Pandora almost had it, but get punished under the turret.
TNC's heroes have dashes on dashes.
This is a domino effect that resulted into TNC's downfall for the next 3 turrets that they've lost. Did you actually notice in just one team fight, 3 turrets have already been lost by the side of the Phoenix army? Why? It's because Helkert or Kyle T was also working under the radar into taking that middle turret down. And he left his other teammates to try and go ahead and land the pressure. But it seems like TNC is actually the ones that are in position first to be able to take this Lord. And you mentioned Few a while while ago, landing a lot of those kills. But that is of the essence. Ben Things losing his ultimate.
There's the Dark Knight falls. Lord's probably going to reset. There's the final slash. Ben Thing's in trouble. He does fall. Super Marco grabbing the kill. Thanks for the leash, they say. Now Bren going for the secured by King Kong. Able to get the kill. Hesu falls. TNC ultimately getting the Lord here, but they lost 3.
That's an expensive trade, but at least TNC walked away with something.
Goodness, if all fails, King Kong. That's technically the tweet over there, but again, when you've managed to take a look at it, TNC had the upper hand from the start because they've managed to land themselves first in terms of the Lord Skirmish, but unfortunately for them, the problem was the initiation wasn't there, and that is what they're missing all throughout the game. Ben Things doesn't get to start the team fight because the Tyrant's Rage and Revenge combos weren't really hitting. It seems like Bren Esports already know this time around where Ben Things is gonna come from because of the extra vision that is being displayed not only by Few but also Pandora. This tenacity build Arlot is really something else.
Anywhere the Pandora checks in, Few has what, maybe 2 or 3 seconds to respond, and he has always been up to that. Even Ogwin. And I guess the way that Dark Knight Falls works, you can count as vision, because if your opponents don't have vision, then that's you being given an extra margin of error. So yeah, that's what explains here the 5k gold lead Bren Esports has. Now TNC, man, I don't know how they can claw back. Like, especially from outside their base. Inside their base, yeah, maybe they can punish. But outside, they're gonna have to close that gap.
Yeah, and you see Innocent a while ago building on that Wind of Nature, finally picking it up. But at this point, where Few is actually second in terms of the total damage dealt, no Wind of Nature can help you with that demonic force magic damage. So at some point, if you're Innocent, how are you gonna position yourself in terms of this team fight? Because again, you're 0-2 and 2. Fortunately, you still have that marksman emblem of yours to at least land on that extra damage needed for this team fight. But how do you even position yourself? And not to mention, the guy flying under the radar, Kyle TZ now leads in terms of the gold. So Super Marco has been the point of pressure for the side of TNC. But in fact, it is Super Marco that's shining in this game.
The one thing too about this,
the Mel, right?
Yeah. The one thing about this too is, Escalera. He's got that early kill that he had earlier, or he had the kill that he got earlier, but still, you saw the damage displayed there. He's not where he needs to be, right, on this Kogura specifically. Now, is that to say that that won't pan out later on? Well, they need a great opportunity to kind of crunch Bren up together to get that yin yang overturn off, and that's exactly what I was saying earlier. When the Joy was picked, he had that genius wand early on, but still we haven't been able to see that combination really work for TNC just yet. In theory, it should work, but what's happening is Bren is just doing a really good job at counter-playing around that and being even careful with their positioning.
Yeah, easier said than done. And now, a Luminous Lord has spawned. Bren Esports took care of the very first Lord like that. Treated it no less you would treat a siege minion. Like, that's how quick that first Lord went. So now, I'm pretty sure they're actually committed. They're resolving to actually get this for themselves.
At some point, right now, they're just trying to have a tug of war with this Lord, but the fact about this...
Do they see King Kong? Now they do.
They go ahead. That is going to be the Lord just being secured here by Bren. So a little... It's like TNC gets the vision, they got pushed off a little bit, and they make the call, what, let's just go and try to defend in our base. Maybe that's going to work better for us.
Again, that is very unfortunate, especially coming in from TNC, because they had the position in the early portions of the game, but I feel like Ben Things is now starting to save up his Flicker and Tyrant's Rage and Revenge combo, because they are within a 6.6k gold gap, and even if he gets the setups done, we've seen it time and time again. Escalera so far doesn't have enough damage to handle the Arlot, and especially Ogwen right now.
There's the final slash on Hesu. Dark Knight's going to fall here. No one going to fall except for that turret. TNC still holding on for now. Bren now eyes set on the top side. Possibly going to make a play here, waiting for these waves to push in. TNC on the defense. They're going to watch out again for another final slash initiation. You get in the front of the lines. Lord finally going to go down here. After gets a hit on the base, there's the turret being focused. Can they commit? Ben Things gonna jump in, but nothing started. Final slash come through. Ben Things falls. Now the turret Demonic Force as well. Escalera jumping in. Doesn't have the burst he needed. Double kill goes out. 2 fall. Still few into the base he goes. Hesu trying to hold on. Dark Knight falls again. The final slash on point. Hesu falls. And they're one after another. It's only King Kong. He can't hold them back by himself. And it's Bren taking us to a game 3.
It all fell apart. Despite having a 1-1 and a joy in the